Hi friends, I am Ashok Kumar Sharma, the chairman of People Welfare Foundation and the director of AK Study Center. I would like to discuss industrial revolution for the perspective of topics and also for the perspective of the students. They can develop their concept and they can understand ins and outs of this topic, and they can just like fasten and enlarge their aura of knowledge that industrial revolution. Industrial revolution, to understand better the meaning the word industrial revolution, we have to go little bit earlier of the industrial revolution, which 1780s period. Before of the 1780s period, that was the period of medieval time. And just like if our concept is clear of changing traditions from past, like changing cultures. And we have, just like we have a little bit of knowledge of world history, that we have seen that earlier of the industrial revolution, that there was a time of cultural traditions and changing in cultures, art, drama, painting, and the thought, philosophy, mathematics, astronomy in Europe. Number of the scholars have developed their personality, and a middle class, new class, that is the middle class, had originated from the society, and there was started of the time of knowledge, discussion, and logic universities. We have seen also a little bit earlier of the culture all changing, that the time of the dark age and the Kar Yug, and the time of just like little bit a real time of the Renaissance. Means that is Renaissance meaning in Hindi Punar Jagran, फिर से जागना, awakening from the deep sleeping and darkness, and just like superstition time, the reign of the Roman Empire. Before Roman Empire, also the power of the Catholic Church, Protestant and monasteries power system, the very great, and having a grip over the society and over the culture of the people and mankind. There was the grip and control grip of the church and cathedral, that it was believed that times that the Mediterranean Sea and was the center of the universe, and the earth was the center of the universe instead of any logic. And there was the times it was considered that people was the burden of on people was the burden of the god, or people was burden on the earth. The times not was a time of mankind, or that was not time of humanistic approach, but little bit earlier, and middle class society has developed, and they developed their thinkings, and number of the scholars has developed in that they started just like thinking and questioning of the coming traditionals and concept of views, and finally it was changed gradually the center of trade and commerce, and so types of the scholar is hegemony started to decline, and again the center from just like Italian state started to deviate from that time, from that place, and the center had been shifted from the the center had been shifted from the Italian state like Rome, Venice, to while being after France to the England. And while coming in industrial revolution started, and in the industrial revolution, what is the industrial revolution? Thinking process has been changed, no doubt that our middle class, great class developed their thinkings, and some things on account of the value based on the democratic based little bit like it was the strengthening and unification of the government systems, and different types of the regions are contributed while bringing the industrial revolution. Actually, industrial revolution, people of Europe especially, and in the area of the Britain, started to think, develop their views and scientific studies in physics and chemistry, and also in different types of the phenomena factors like physics, chemistry, psychology, mathematics, astronomy, science, and philosophy, architecture, painting, etc. On this way, they have developed number of those inventions and discovered number of those discoveries, and different type of the factors, different types of the things that fostered the revolution in the life of mankind, that is called that industrial revolution. Like there were number of the discoveries, about 32,000 discoveries, 32,000 discovery, 32,000 खोज हुए थे, 32,000 discoveries about overall in the middle period. This period about just like 1780s to 1850s, and about in this time, and also in this period a number of more great discoveries like discoveries of making the process fastly, like melting the iron ores, and iron ore melting iron ores contributed in the mankind of the civilization in Britain especially, and started a huge amount of iron utilized, and it started making a huge amount and big amount of structures, buildings, and like of infrastructures, and it develops also industry. And in this respect also number of discoveries, along with that the great discovery that was the invention of steam engine changed the shape of the earth, like the industrial revolution took place also gradually, and from other states like Britain it reached to the America, Japan, and Asia, Africa, and other states gradually. But number of the factors that we are going to see that. So industrial revolution, there is the revolution in industry was due to especially steam engine and discovery of process of melting ores of iron, and utilizing of coal in huge amount of coal, and mining of coals. It helped this mining availability of coals huge amount of in that area of the Britain's enhanced and flourished the melting process, and also this melting process just enhanced the industry, and especially the steam engine. Steam engine utilized and fastens the process of everything. First of all, fastens in the spinning journey, just like boomed, double, tripled, and so on, developed the profit economic, and just like made the life of people of England very fast and busy and productive and very economic prosperous. That was the utilizing of steam engines in this way. And again, steam engines were utilized in the navigation, in the sea navigation, on account of utilizing the steam engines in the sea navigations. Earlier it was very exhaustive and long task, and time taking durable task, and very and costly and fares of the sea navigation, but it made possible cheaper than earlier. The cost of the fares, good fares, decreased, and it just like helped the industrialization, and just like profited the businessmen, and made prosperous economically to the life of the people, to the life of the businessmen. And England also finally it just like developed to the cities of like Britain, these cities, Britain, Scotland, and Netherlands, and like of these cities nearby the cities, and especially in the area the Britain. So in this industrialization means a revolution in the changing of doing of the manner of the production of economic production, and production from the factories, production of everything like production of cottons, production of silk, production of clothes, production of the household items, production of irons, production of steel. I would like to show you that some scenario just little bit earlier of the industrial revolution. Actually the changing cultures and tradition started, but actually the process, the speed of the life was not so fast. People started to have a movement by the help of the sea navigation, and on account of the movement they developed a little bit a business trade, and also knowledge and experience and cultural commingling. But commingling, and this is also you can from this picture is I'm going to show you that this is the time of great curse, time of the feudal society, feudalism, and the slave time, slave and trade. And yes, this is a very and inhumanistic and disgusting picture. You can see that people are animalized, people are tortured and husbandized by the people, other people. Means people are exploited by the people. It was the very disgusting and very and bad and very ugly face, a very ugly time of the human mankind. You can see how people are being treated like animals, and they are forced, tortured, and caught, and just like exploited for the work of their lords and powerful person. And soldiers. With the help of this map, we can understand little a bit that the roots how the process of colonization also started. It was thus output and output of the turnout or output of this industrial revolution, that it is the great and important factor, that is thus colonization, and it was thus output of this industrial revolution that just like started first of all industrial revolution in this area. Britain, Scotland, Wales in this area started, and it spread gradually. Like of that, after being successful in industrial revolution, their ambition has developed and flourished, and on this way their nature for our coming and making colonies and nature and thus psychology and human is great. They are human and desire that have of imperialism power, making and spreading themselves by their just like spreading the imperialism. We can see thus roots of colonization and imperialism while being the European countries, like especially for Britain, Lisbon survival while being this. You can say that people started coming and businessman imperialistic power started coming while being the western side of the South Africa, and while being the Cape of Good Hope in this area, and while being Indian Ocean in this Madagascar, while being here in the southern part of India with India, and they established there and political and business and trade industry and relationship with India while being this route, and while being Africa and rounding the shape of Cape of Good Hope, and finally that was the Malabar coast, and about near was the Calicut in 1498. As we know that Vasco da Gama has discovered the India. But my motto is to speak. My motto is to clear something little big on this matter, and we can see just like while seeing Indian Ocean, we can see that the behaviors and the relations of the trades and politics in this very eastern countries like Philippines, Thailand, and these countries like of this, and also western side and European did not stop they spreading their imperial power. Only just like only with the Eastern Asian countries, they also just like went western sides like in Northern America and Southern America, and also British made their imperial power and imperial state and colonies in like American countries, North America and South America, and especially they utilized, exploited the land of the Africa and exploited the people of South Africa and India, and also and Eastern Asian states like Philippines and in this area. So overall we can say that the British and European country established their imperial power over all little a bit all over the world. So it is a great factor to be known that industrial revolution and colonization, because we study the industrial revolution. So what is the importance of industrial revolution topics? So it is clear involuntarily that after for studying everything like colonization and national movements, after that we will study national movements in Africa, national movements in India, Bharat Chhoro Andolan, Quit India movement, and like non-cooperate movement and so on revolutions. Then we will be able to understand better if we understand that industrial revolution. We can understand better, we study just like industrial revolution, then we can understand better the movement of Africa, like movements between the whites and blacks in the South Africa. Movement was hosted by Nelson Mandela, and the movement was hosted by the Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So it was a great impact of industrial revolutions not only to the British countries all over the world. Thank you. And in this let's further also we'll study about the imperialistic approach, the power of England, like Japan. Japan was also in this way, not the back while making the imperialistic power. And just like so we have the great examples, that was China was the center of this pumpkins and was colored into by the every other powers like Japan's, British and Americans and other countries. So it was very and devastating and very critical conditions was continuing for the China sometimes. So Japan was not in the back in the reign of in the way of imperialistic colonization. So Japan is no much so much and why it was clear. We will be little bit very interesting things we will know in the next topics. Let's go ahead. Yes, also, and you can see this is just some and one things that humanistic approach we can see, and the approach, the center of this approach was the mankind. What is mankind? That mankind actually it was discussed, it was thought the pleasure of the people instead of like the hegemony of the Roman, like people are the product of the scene. So now it was considered, now this is on this earth, this terrestrial place is the place where people can enjoy, people can develop their trade, political behavior and enjoyment of the life. So by the help of this expression, it is expressed by the people of the European countries how they started to flourish and going toward the progress of mankind. It was also on account of the development of the Industrial Revolution. So this approach started in the time of the cultural tradition and thought, but it boomed and enhanced during the time of the Industrial Revolution. Thank you. And the next topics I would like to discuss. Please being with us. Thank you very much.